we have a core town hall with the double poison, and typically what you want to do in general with these bases is you want to have a good flame flinger, obviously, but one thing you need to be sure of is that you never really want to have the flame flinger in the same area where you're doing the warden charge. So something that we used to do back then, when you had the warden tanking for an expo or a mortar and the flame flinger would be right next to him. No, we have a different approach with the warden, completely opposite side of the flame flinger. If you can obviously have them as close as possible, but again, it wouldn't be likely and it wouldn't be really suggested. So now the flame flinger with some archers and a furnace can really clear the right side. Warden and a few of these furnaces can clear the left. What I really want to do with the fireball is just typically just drop it on the most damaged part of the base, which in my case I believe it's going to be around this area where there is poison spell, a tower, there is monolith, there is the expos, enemy heroes, really good amount of value. So ice block the warden and then go with the invisibilities and pop the warden ability. I probably could have done a better fireball even, but honestly the strategy is really powerful. They don't necessarily need to have the most insane value out of fireball. Now this area was getting so much damage and my warden was staying behind, so I'm going with another ice block spell. I could have done with an invis, but I rather keep the invis for the Sui because it makes more sense in a way that you can't really use the ice block for the Sui that much unless you're really good with the army. So now the warden is having a time of his life clearing stuff. Sometimes you may forget you have to add some furnace with him, so right where he's standing, just add a few furnace with your king and queen. You can see how the flame flinger is managed to get a nice funnel. So now the Sui just simply goes for the town hall. Now with the king and queen, you also want to have it further away from the warden, so you keep the warden separated from these two main parts of the base. Same goes with the RC, but the RC drop is a bit different depending on the bases. Obviously you can drop the RC even with the warden, you can let them go together after a long period of time, but just make sure the warden stays alive because he can get quite a lot of value by himself. Sometimes you're going to see in this video actually my warden dies, so one thing that it happens is that you just shouldn't really be worried. You shouldn't really panic. Let the warden die, it's okay. Try to grab the healers away from where they're standing, most likely inside damage, so you can drop the RC for that or drop your king and queen for that, so the healers get dragged. That's something you can do when the warden dies in the middle of the attack.